By the time many women reach their late 30s and early 40s, stubborn fatigue, sleep that never feels restorative, random aches, and midlife weight hang on like unwelcome visitors, often fed by chronic inflammation and higher cortisol. That's the problem first want to fix in just 7 days. The solution is simple. A targeted 7-day turmeric reset that combines the powerhouse of curcumin with smart food swaps and tiny daily rituals to gently lower inflammation and calm stress hormones. No extremes, no cleanses that leave you hangry, just practical, feel-better moves. Over the next few minutes, you'll get the exact plan. How much turmeric and why black pepper matters for absorption. 3 easy recipes. Morning golden smoothie, midday anti-inflammatory bowl, soothing evening tea, and 2-minute practices to drop cortisol fast, breathwork, and a bedtime wind down. You'll also learn what to avoid for the week, processed sugar, late-night caffeine, and safe ways to add supplements if you choose. These steps fit into busy life. A 3-minute morning ritual, a lunch swap you can pack, and a calming 10-minute night routine. Try it for 7 days. Track energy, sleep, and joint stiffness. Small shifts add up. Stay through the video for the printable 7-day plan and shopping list. And if you're taking meds or are pregnant, check with your provider before starting. Ready to feel steadier and less inflamed? Let's begin. 1. How curcumin fights cortisol. Chronic stress pushes the hypothalamic, pituitary, adrenal, HPA, axis into overdrive. And for many women between 35 and 50, that shows up as poor sleep, stubborn belly fat, mood swings, and low energy. When the HPA axis is persistently activated, it changes immune signaling and metabolic balance. Inflammatory cytokines like IL-6 and TNF-alpha often rise alongside cortisol, creating a feedback loop that makes stress harder to shake. These are real pathways, not just feelings, and they're exactly where curcumin can help. Curcumin fights cortisol on several fronts. It dampens the NF-kappa B inflammatory pathway, lowering the production of pro-inflammatory cytokines that stimulate the HPA axis. It also activates antioxidant and cellular defense pathways such as NRF2, reducing oxidative signals that would otherwise keep stress pathways active. In practical terms, by calming peripheral inflammation and oxidative stress, curcumin reduces the biochemical prompts that tell your brain to keep sending cortisol-producing signals. Small clinical studies and experimental work support reductions in stress markers and improvements in mood with curcumin, particularly when inflammation is present. Beyond blunt anti-inflammatory action, curcumin influences enzymes and brain chemistry tied to cortisol regulation. There is evidence it can affect enzymes involved in local cortisol regeneration in tissues, for example those that convert inactive cortisone to active cortisol, and it modulates neurotransmitter systems, serotonin, dopamine, and neurotrophic factors that shape HPA axis responsiveness. That means curcumin doesn't just blunt a single molecule, it shifts how the body reacts to stress at multiple control points. For a busy professional or a mom juggling work and home, that can translate into fewer late-night awakenings and less afternoon fatigue when combined with other healthy habits. Practical integration matters because curcumin's raw bioavailability is low. Pair turmeric with a natural absorption booster like black pepper, piperine, and a source of healthy fat to make a meaningful difference. Choose a supplement formulation with enhanced delivery. Curcumin phytosome or nanoparticle extracts are common options, or add ground turmeric to a morning smoothie with coconut milk and a pinch of black pepper. Always check interactions. Curcumin can affect blood clotting and some medication pathways, so run changes by your healthcare provider if you take anticoagulants or multiple prescription drugs. Start small and track changes. Add a curcumin-containing food or a reputable supplement to 1 meal a day for a week. Note sleep quality, mood swings, and energy levels, and pair this with consistent sleep and gentle movement. If you see even subtle improvements, that's a signal to continue and fine-tune dosage and form with guidance from a clinician. Try this focused approach and observe whether calming inflammation and supporting resilience with curcumin helps lower the biochemical noise of cortisol in your life. 2. Science of chronic inflammation. Chronic, low-grade inflammation is often the hidden driver behind stubborn weight around the middle, creaky joints, midday fatigue, and mood swings that many women notice between their mid-30s and 50s. It's different from the quick, protective inflammation you get with a cut or a cold. This kind simmers quietly and systemically, measurable by markers like C-reactive protein, CRP, interleukin-6, IL-6, and tumor necrosis factor alpha, TNF-alpha. Small daily triggers add up. Disrupted sleep, persistent stress, excess visceral fat, and even untreated gum disease can all keep the immune system in a perpetual state of alert. That persistent alert state raises the baseline of inflammatory signaling in tissues throughout the body, making recovery slower and symptoms more constant. A key part of the problem sits at the cellular signaling level. Immune cells such as macrophages can shift into a pro-inflammatory M1 mode instead of the healing M2 mode, and master regulators like the NF-kappa B pathway stay switched on, promoting cytokine production and sustaining inflammation. Another mechanism is the NLRP3 inflammasome, an intracellular complex that activates powerful cytokines like IL-1 beta when triggered by stressors such as excess dietary sugars, saturated fats, or reactive oxygen species. Gut barrier dysfunction also plays a role. When the intestinal lining becomes more permeable, bacterial components like lipopolysaccharide, LPS, can enter circulation and activate toll-like receptors, amplifying systemic inflammation. Hormonal shifts matter too. Declining estrogen across midlife reduces some anti-inflammatory signaling, which helps explain why women often notice inflammatory symptoms intensifying during this period. You can target these mechanisms with concrete strategies that aim at causes rather than just symptoms. Reducing visceral fat lowers the source of adipokines and pro-inflammatory cytokines. Regular resistance training plus adequate protein helps preserve lean mass while improving metabolic signaling. Supporting the gut with fiber-rich foods, fermented foods, or a clinician-recommended probiotic can strengthen the mucosal barrier and reduce LPS-driven inflammation. Improving sleep consistency and duration helps to reset the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, so cortisol retains its proper anti-inflammatory role, rather than contributing to glucocorticoid resistance. Small but consistent stress reduction practices, breathing, short walks, or focused relaxation, can decrease sympathetic overdrive that fuels NF-kappa B activity. Even dental care matters. Treating periodontal disease lowers a chronic inflammatory reservoir that can otherwise seed systemic effects. Integrating this science into everyday life means actionable, measurable steps. Start by tracking simple markers, waist circumference and sleep hours, and ask your clinician about tests such as high-sensitivity CRP, fasting glucose, and lipid profile to get a baseline for systemic inflammation and metabolic health. Shift meal patterns toward whole foods that supply polyphenol and omega-3s, which interfere with pro-inflammatory signaling pathways at the cellular level. Build movement into your week with a mix of strength and aerobic work to change macrophage behavior in fat tissue and improve insulin sensitivity. Prioritize nightly routines that support sleep architecture, cool, dark bedrooms, evening screen limits, and consistent bedtimes to help restore healthy cortisol rhythms. Finally, bring these plans to your healthcare team so interventions are personalized, safe, and sustainable. Take a first step today. Measure one thing, change one habit, and check in with your clinician about inflammation markers so you can see progress. Small, targeted actions rooted in the biology of chronic inflammation make real improvements possible, and they add up to feeling steadier, clearer, and stronger through midlife and beyond. 3. Boosting absorption with black pepper. Curcumin is hard to absorb on its own. So much of the anti-inflammatory potential in turmeric never makes it into your bloodstream. That limited bioavailability can blunt benefits like reduced inflammation and better stress response, which matters when you're juggling work, family, and the hormonal shifts that come in your late 30s and 40s. Women in this age range often need strategies that actually deliver the compounds they consume, not just tasty routines. Black pepper contains piperine, a compound that powerfully boosts curcumin uptake by blocking certain gut and liver processes that strip curcumin away. Studies show that piperine can increase curcumin's bioavailability dramatically by as much as 2.0% in measured trials, so a tiny addition changes the game. Piperine works partly by inhibiting glucuronidation and by modulating enzymes like CYP3A4 and transport proteins such as P-glycoprotein, which increases the amount of curcumin your body can use. That's why a pinch of black pepper is not just flavor, it's a bioavailability switch. Make it practical. Freshly cracked black pepper mixed into a turmeric paste with a little oil sends curcumin into a fat matrix that your body prefers. Try stirring a pinch of cracked pepper and a splash of olive or coconut oil into warm milk or a smoothie. Fats help solubilize curcumin and work synergistically with piperine. Or add both turmeric and black pepper to a salad dressing made with extra virgin olive oil, or finish roasted vegetables with them. If you use supplements, look for formulations that include piperine or other proven delivery systems, phytosome or nanoparticle forms, to improve absorption. Be mindful. Piperine can change how some medications are metabolized, so if you take prescription drugs, especially blood thinners, hormone therapies, or medications processed by liver enzymes, check with your clinician first. Integrating this into daily life is simple and low effort. Pair turmeric with a source of fat and a small amount of black pepper at the main meals. Consistency over days matters more than a single super serving. Start small to test tolerance. The pepper can be sharp, and note changes in joint stiffness, swelling, sleep quality, or stress resilience over a week. Keep a short symptom log so you can compare how you feel before and after starting pepper-enhanced turmeric. Try adding a pinch of black pepper every time you use turmeric this week and watch for small improvements in inflammation-related symptoms and energy. If you're taking medications, or pregnant, or nursing, consult your healthcare provider before making this change. Give it a fair trial, and if you notice positive shifts, make the black pepper plus fat habit part of your daily routine. 4. Sugar-free golden milk recipe. Store-bought golden milk mixes and cafe turmeric lattes often hide added sugars and syrups, quietly increasing daily sugar intake and feeding afternoon energy crashes. Many women between 35 and 50 notice that tiny, repeated sugar hits make sleep worse and cravings louder, so a no-sugar version can be a simple, effective swap. A sugar-free approach keeps the soothing ritual without the insulin spike, and it lets the anti-inflammatory benefits of turmeric shine without being masked by sweeteners. Swap the commercial cup for this simple recipe. Heat 1 cup unsweetened almond or oat milk, then whisk in 1 teaspoon ground turmeric, or 1 tablespoon homemade turmeric paste, 1/4 teaspoon ground cinnamon, a pinch of freshly ground black pepper, and 1 teaspoon coconut oil or 1/2 tablespoon MCT oil. Add a tiny pinch of ground ginger and cardamom for warmth. Sweeten only if needed with a calorie-free option like 2-3 drops of liquid stevia or a 1/4 teaspoon powdered monk fruit. Erythritol is another sugar-free choice, but can upset the stomach for some people, so pick what your body tolerates. Warm gently, do not boil, and simmer for about 3-5 minutes while whisking or blending to create a velvety texture. If you prefer to prep a base, make turmeric paste by simmering 1/4 cup water with 1 tablespoon turmeric powder into a thick paste, then stir in a little oil and a pinch of black pepper. Store that paste in the fridge and scoop a teaspoon into your milk each morning. Black pepper isn't just for flavor. Piperine in black pepper significantly improves curcumin absorption, and the added oil helps because curcumin is fat-soluble and absorbs better with a lipid present. Turn this into a weekly habit by batching a larger pot. Double or triple the recipe. Then refrigerate in a jar for up to 4 days and reheat gently on the stove or in a warm mug. Use the drink as a calming evening ritual instead of a sugary dessert latte, or as a mid-afternoon reset paired with a handful of nuts or a boiled egg to stabilize blood sugar. It also works beautifully as a creamy base for chia pudding or stirred into oatmeal for a spice-forward breakfast without added sweeteners. Try it tonight and notice the small differences: sleep quality, evening cravings, or digestive comfort. Tweak spice levels, swap almond for oat if you prefer creaminess, and keep a brief note about how you feel after a few nights. Share the version that works for you with a friend. Making a double batch to gift in a mason jar is a lovely way to start a new, sugar-free ritual. 5. Evening ritual for better sleep. Many women in midlife notice sleep becomes lighter and more fragmented as hormonal shifts, daily stress, and caregiving responsibilities pile up. Blue light from phones and laptops suppresses melatonin production, and irregular bedtimes confuse the body's circadian rhythm. Even modest evening caffeine or heavy meals close to bedtime can increase nighttime wakefulness. These are common, solvable obstacles. A focused evening ritual can quiet the nervous system and signal to your brain that sleep is next. Start by setting a consistent bedtime window. Even 30 minutes earlier on most nights makes a difference. 60 to 90 minutes before lights out. Dim household lighting and switch screens to night mode. Better yet, put devices in another room. Keep the bedroom cool, ideally between about 67 degrees F, 15.6, 19.4 degrees C, and make it as dark and quiet as possible. Practical steps work best. Try a simple timeline. 90 minutes before bed, turn off work devices and lower lights. 45 minutes before bed, do 15 minutes of gentle yoga or progressive muscle relaxation to release tension, followed by 10 minutes of slow diaphragmatic breathing. Inhale for 4 counts. Pause briefly. Exhale for 6 to 8 counts. After movement and breath work, sit for a short journaling session. 1 page of completed tasks to the trash and 3 lines of gratitude or tomorrow's top priorities. Finish with a warm, caffeine-free drink such as chamomile or a small mug of milk with a pinch of turmeric and black pepper for flavor and comfort. The ritual itself, more than any ingredient, fosters relaxation. Adaptations make rituals sustainable. For a busy evening with kids, compress the routine into 2 blocks, a 10-minute calming activity right after dinner, light stretch and breath work, and a 10-minute wind down after putting kids to bed, journaling, and a warm cup. If falling asleep is the issue, swap journaling for a guided sleep meditation or an audiobook played at low volume. If you wake at night, resist checking your phone. Instead, practice a grounding exercise. Name 5 things you can see, 4 you can touch, 3 you can hear, to shift attention away from worry. Start small and keep it consistent. Choose one element, screen curfew, breathing practice, or a warm pre-bed drink, and commit to it for a week. Notice changes in sleep onset, nighttime awakenings, and morning energy. Tonight, pick one tiny step and do it. Dim the lights an hour before bed, breathe slowly for 5 minutes, or write down tomorrow's to-dos. Your rest will thank you. 6. Expected results after 7 days. Silent inflammation and frequent cortisol spikes quietly erode energy, sleep quality, and mood for many women in their late 30s to 50s. You may already notice subtle signs: heavier afternoon fatigue, more stubborn belly bloating, or joint stiffness that didn't used to be there. These are common signals that your stress hormones and immune system are nudging your body into a state of low-grade inflammation. And a short, focused reset can produce surprisingly tangible shifts. A concentrated 7-day turmeric-focused reset is designed to reduce that inflammatory tone and calm stress responses enough that you feel it. Early changes are often digestive and subjective. Reduced bloating, milder indigestion after meals, and a lessened sense of heaviness. Many women report clearer digestion within the first 2 to 3 days when turmeric is taken with a little healthy fat and black pepper to improve curcumin absorption. Better digestion alone can make mornings easier and reduce the urge to snack on inflammatory foods. By the middle of the week, you may notice improvements in energy patterns and mood. Cortisol tendencies, such as mid-afternoon energy crashes or difficulty winding down at night, can begin to ease as inflammation drops and sleep cycles normalize. Expect gentler shifts, not miracles. You might sleep more soundly, fall asleep faster, or wake with slightly more mental clarity. Physical complaints like joint stiffness, itchiness after exercise, and PMS-related discomfort often feel modestly reduced by day 5 to 7 when anti-inflammatory support accumulates. Practical signs to watch for include decreased reliance on caffeine for afternoon energy, lighter digestion after a large meal, and reduced morning soreness when getting out of bed. Trackable improvements: shorter time to fall asleep, 1 fewer nap, or needing less ibuprofen for minor aches, are useful personal metrics. Remember that objective blood markers of inflammation, like CRP or cytokine levels, can shift with anti-inflammatory regimens, but those changes are best confirmed with lab tests ordered by your clinician rather than by subjective feeling alone. Integrating the reset into daily life makes the benefits stick. Pair turmeric with a pinch of black pepper and a drizzle of olive oil or a spoonful of yogurt to enhance absorption. Add it to a smoothie or warm milk substitute at night for a calming ritual. Combine the herbal approach with small supportive steps, consistent sleep windows, a short evening walk, reduced refined sugar, and breath work to multiply the effect. If you take prescription medications, especially blood thinners or certain hormone therapies, check with your healthcare provider before starting concentrated supplements. Give yourself a simple experiment. Keep a one-line daily log for 7 days noting sleep quality, energy level, digestive comfort, and any joint pain. If you see meaningful improvement, consider extending the routine and layering in longer-term habits that support hormonal balance and stress resilience. If results are minimal, consult a clinician to explore other inflammatory drivers and personalized adjustments. Try the week thoughtfully, track what changes, and use those clues to build a sustainable plan that fits your life. Feeling foggy, wired, and achy by the end of the day? Life fact: chronic stress and low-level inflammation quietly build up over years, showing up as stubborn weight, restless sleep, and skin changes, especially for women juggling work, family, and busy schedules in their late 30s and 40s. The 7-Day Turmeric Reset is a simple, realistic fix. Reset your eating rhythm, add turmeric in bioavailable ways, prioritize short movement and breath work, and protect sleep. Direct summary of key points: a daily golden turmeric drink, turmeric plus a pinch of black pepper plus healthy fat, anti-inflammatory meals focused on whole foods, 10 minutes of calming breath or gentle movement each day, better sleep habits, and a quick safety check with your healthcare provider if you're on medications. Here's how it actually works in your day. Start with a warm golden drink in the morning or evening. Turmeric pairs with pepper and fat, a splash of coconut milk or olive oil to absorb better. Fold turmeric into smoothies, soups, roasted veggies, or stews so it feels like a tasty habit, not a chore. Keep meals simple: leafy greens, colorful veggies, good proteins, and whole grains. Add a daily 5-minute breathing break or gentle walk to calm cortisol spikes, and protect a solid wind-down routine so your 7-8 hours of sleep can do their repair work. Make it doable. Swap one coffee for a golden drink. Cook 2 turmeric-friendly dinners to freeze. Set a phone reminder for your 5-minute breath break, and tuck the turmeric mix by the kettle so you'll see it. Small, consistent steps beat big, unsustainable changes, and you'll notice mood, sleep, and digestion shifts in days. Try the reset for 7 days and tell me how you feel in the comments. What worked? What surprised you? If you want the printable 7-day plan, recipes, and a shopping list, click the link in the description and subscribe so you don't miss it. Next week, First will share 5 quick turmeric recipes and a bedtime routine to lower cortisol even more. You deserve to feel calmer, clearer, and more energized. Let's do this together.